Well, here's a question I never thought I'd ask. Is the video still an unboxing if it's not in a box? Just for the sake of clarity and consistency, this will be called an unboxing, but ain't no box. So after the open rolls, I will open this package and reveal, fingers crossed, and be very excited for what is in the package, because if it was not falsely advertised, if it was everything it was meant to be from the ad I clicked, saw, and liked, then this will be a spectacular unboxing. But it's also the internet, so you never know what you'll get. It should be something I've long pined for, desired since I can remember wanting something, and that being the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship. And again, if the imagery is to be believed, the specific version that I always preferred, which is the dual-plated, the multi-colored, not just one color, that being gold, but gold on top of silver. And the reason I preferred it that way is because it would always pop. It would be an extra beautiful presentation, because even for the big gold belt, a title that, literally has gold in its name, I thought it looked so much better when it had the silver back to the gold that would pop out or up or stand out. And so, now granted, when the title was just one color, was just gold in the WWE era, it was not that it was bad, it was just, to me, not as good. This is the oddest packaging I've ever seen for something. Like, I expected this to come in a box like the Intercontinental Championship I got, both the real World Wrestling Federation version and the imaginary World Wrestling Entertainment version I created. Both came in boxes, and so I expected this to be in a box. But this thing is just nothing but styrofoam and tape holding this, I don't know, almost, I'm going to say miniaturized, not quite miniaturized, but definitely smaller than I expected. Okay, maybe it's not as small as it, but man, it was tightly compact. And yeah, so I'll say this. Here, let me. Alright. So because of the way that it shipped, the tip here is, the tip of the leather is not wanting to sit straight. It's not wanting to stay up. But in general, the color does stand out because it does have the dual nature, which is what I wanted. I'll say this, the etching is very light, much lighter than I expected it to be. But I also got it, it's a knockoff, it's cheap, but because of its pricing, I do think that it's good for what it costs. Let's say that this was the price of a WWE.com shop, then and it came in this way, in this condition, I could totally see being unhappy or disappointed. But because it's, got the legitimate real logo, which is something I always dislike about the .com version, is that it comes with a non-existent or never was real logo. And so that is, to me, the reason not to go with the .com version. But this, like I said, it has the WWF. It has the silver background with the gold popping off the front. Like I said, the leather is very rigid, except for in the top tip of the WWF and the bottom where it's Wrestling Champion. They both have give to them, which is not what I would consider splendid or great. But here's the thing, it is good for the price. Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much, much more, but most importantly, the story itself. Like, when it comes to the idea of getting what you pay for, I think that this is the lesser of the championships I have in quality, but the price makes it pop in value, because, again, what you get for the the price that is paid for it, you get, like I said, the raised edges, the correct World Wrestling Federation logo, the dual color, like, outside of the leather. And that's the thing, is like, so many people do what they call re-leatherings, and I think that this could definitely take with new leather. But here's the other thing, I'm going to try to see if just by placing it in such a way as to allow the leather to go back into its original shape will be enough. Because if that's the case, then it's a win-win. You don't have to change anything, and you get the leather in the correct format. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this particular purchase, because it's a title that I can remember always thinking, man, that thing is the tops. Like, whether it be Bret the Hitman Hart, Shawn Michaels, Diesel, my goodness, Diesel's reign seemed like it was never going to end. And so many guys that would challenge and then not win, like a Razor Ramon. Even when Mabel challenged Diesel, I was like, wow, the idea of that massive humanity being the top guy. Same goes for when Yokozuna was the champion. Him and The Undertaker did such great work for the company when this was the prize. And yeah, it's just, that's what it feels like, is a prize, the prize of professional wrestling. Like, as far as being it, like the one, I think that you could make the argument that the big gold belt, especially, like I said, that Dusty Rhodes version, that Ric Flair version of the big gold belt, you can make the argument that it was the superior trophy or prize, prop if you're Vince Russo. But this just, it's beautiful and it stands out. Like, it's so beautiful, and it stands out so much so that even World Championship Wrestling ripped off, or let's say paid homage to this design by making the Winged Eagle the centerpiece of their secondary title, the United States Championship, that if you were United States champion, you could become, or you were the successor, the next in line for the big gold belt. And so, I mean, to me, that in and of itself proved that the Crockett's and Turner and all them knew just how beautiful this title is, and how the perception of its lineage could be equated into their secondary title. And there have been people that said that when Flair took the big gold belt to the WWF, the title they replaced it with was meant to be their version of this championship, because of just the general shape, structure, color contrast, plating, all of it. Like that Ron Simmons world title that was brought in after the big gold belt was meant to give the visual cue of this title, which actually is a perfect segue into an upcoming video. And the reason this unboxing, if you will, happened and this purchase came to be, other than the fact that I wanted it, is because for the next Butterfly Effect Wrestling episode, I am going to plan out, present, and show how Ron Simmons winning this championship not only makes him the top guy of the World Wrestling Federation, but with just a few key changes, it can save the life of a fallen wrestler. It can change the trajectory of a man who was, addicted to the bad stuff. And, just how one thing can change everything. So thank you for watching this unboxing, and come back all next week for more content from Mr. Super Oz.